Hello everyone and welcome to a special stream today where we'll be going through the big question. Sorry, we just all had a bit of a laugh just before we went live, so that's probably why you caught us all laughing a little bit. But we're going to get serious now, kinda. And we have quite a lot to go through, but just before we get into it, I'm just going to summarise what's going on very quickly. So we had, are you getting angry at the chat? Go on, say it.
You don't need to say RuneScape. Stop spamming it.
They're saying
He loves saying
it just means we can't read the chat and I can't read what you're waffling on about, you know?
Well, you can. It actually makes it way easier because they're all saying the same thing. Got a lot of time to see the same phrase 15 times in a row.
Do we have time for a 2-minute rant for him? I'd love to hear it. No, don't.
Can we just add stuff to the list as we're going? Okay, that's fine. We'll deal with it. So this week we had just basically a patch week, which was absolutely massive in regards to everything we added to the game. There was a lot in there, but I'm going to use this as a chance to ask a couple of questions regarding that. So, how do we decide what patches go into a patch week?
Go on, Timbo. This is so ye.
It's difficult to tell. No.
Well prepared.
No. For the Ninja team especially, we sort of go through what sort of work we've been doing, mostly what's going to impact the players the most. So make sure that some fixes we've done recently that are going to impact a lot. We sort of put out there first. Some fixes that have been done for ages that are slightly minor will go in over a period of time. But that's sort of how we decide Ninja fixes, at least.
Yeah.
And the patch notes in general are sort of like that.
Turnaround's kind of pretty quick, really quick.
Exactly.
So you'll have your Monday meeting to gather together the stuff from the spreadsheet that you like, which is taken from players and staff and polls and all that lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that was only premiered last week.
Yeah.
But I can't remember any of it because there's so many notes.
I'm in for the divination wisps. That's all I want.
Yeah, and obviously we got some of the poll stuff in as well, which is kind of important. I forgot to introduce everyone, so I'll probably just do that really quickly. So to my left, Mod Timbo, Mod Deg, Mod Osborne, Mod Liam, Mod Ramen. So this is our couch for today. We have a quick PC section as well, which will be showing off something cool. So we'll get to that later. And just as I mentioned, RuneScape is live. We have something new to give away. There is a chance to win the brand new Chia Hunter outfit. We have an image of it there. So if you get a loot chest at the end of it, then there is a chance that you can get this outfit. So
important lady back on the right there as well.
So good luck with that one.
Outfit?
Can we get it?
Can we rush upstairs? And
well, I mean, if we were to leave our, we could probably get away if we leave our accounts logged into Twitch, maybe. But
right, okay. Does it work on mobile? I've got my phone.
So we should mention as well, you can ask questions in the chat, obviously. We'll try and pick up what we can, but there's a lot we're going to go through, so just get comfortable. There's quite a lot of topics we're going to go through. A couple of things as well, just to mention. Next week, we'll be seeing the release of the Christmas quest for Christmas 2017. We do have some screenshots that we didn't show, and we're now going to put them up on screen so you can kind of get an idea of what's to come for next week. So, we'll pop them up on screen. I believe we have shown that one in the previous content showcase, but that is the Clockwork Gnome, I believe that's called.
Yep.
And there we go. We'll just rattle these off. Maybe you can take this, Osborne, because you probably know this better than me.
Have we revealed the title before?
No.
Let's do it. So this is the Genome Project.
Genome Project, right, okay.
Gnome, it's very clever. This is Mod Orion doing his fancy thing. And it's got a Pinocchio vibe.
Oh, it's a big old
look at that, that's a quality sled. That's what I look for in RuneScape, quality sleds. And there it is in the Grand Exchange, because the Grand Exchange is going to be Christmasified.
So it's the Max Guild as well.
As is the Max Guild, actually, yeah, that's true, come from feedback. And this will very much be the hub for things going awry with Santa and his Clockwork Gnome, because the Clockwork Gnome is looking to become a real boy. And there we go. This is a little clue to what might have happened there. You could probably unpick that.
You could probably figure out what that area is, actually.
And snowboards, because,
that's the thing we do over Christmas now.
Yeah. Nothing says Christmas like a snowboard.
It really doesn't.
Hopefully. No.
All right, so let us
it should be noted it's a quest-like piece of content, by the way.
Okay.
So one of the favourite Christmas events that we've got kind of internally is I forget the name of it, the penguin one from a few years ago. The Pinch Stole Christmas? Is it something?
Oh, the one we did.
Yeah. Oh God,
Yeah,
I'm complimenting you accidentally.
Yeah,
So-
the iceberg episodic.
Yeah,
content,
so unless I'm releasing them kind of week after week, but imagine them all clustered together in one launch. But that feeling of I'm doing questing and I'm unlocking some skinning stuff as I go, but the emphasis on that little quest.
Right, okay, let's just jump into it. We got a lot of questions to go through. So, when will the next unfinished business post come out?
We're thinking that there would not be another one. This is because we'd like to roll unfinished business into virtually everything we do. So Big Questions is going to cover loads of unfinished business stuff. We're going to be covering a lot of ground there. Then we've got the year ahead, that's January the 1st. That delves into how we're doing with unfinished business, kind of that league table of what we've released, what's still to come, that kind of thing. But really, I want to get to the point where unfinished business is less, a checklist of everything we're doing, and it just folds into all of our decision making. Everything we do is kind of got that in it.
Cool. Do we have an ETA on Sluskate's endgame replayability?
We do. It's coming soon, early next year. We were trying to get it out for the end of this year, but with Christmas going on, everything like that, we wanted to make sure it's nicely tested.
Cool.
Weirdly, it's quite complicated to do, the
Yes.
replayability, and it's a lot of playing through that quest.
Is this
over and over
so?
again.
Let's talk about replaying quests then. Is this kind of a problem why we don't do them?
For my mind, yeah, it is. I think quests, the most impactful time you play through them is that first time. I think for a special quest like Broken Home, where you're going through and repeating for rewards, that's fine. But for most quests, it's just a linear narrative, and there's not a huge amount of reason to revisit it from that perspective.
One of the reasons why it's so troubling, in particular with Endgame, is also the reason why you want to replay it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different permutations, that makes it way harder to make sure that your original canonical one is maintained, and retest all of the other, permutations.
But we brought it on ourselves.
Yeah.
We said we were going to do it virtually at launch. So it's taken a year. It's a nice anniversary gift, kind of, plus a few weeks maybe. We learn.
Do you have any news about Group Iron Man mode? After RuneFest, it was never mentioned.
Hello, everyone.
Cool. Mud Ramen.
So yeah, we've been pretty quiet on it. I haven't really said much, just because when we usually say something, it's kind of held as biblical. But I did put out a post saying the other day I'm currently scheduled to work on it after Solak, and that will be around the March period. I'm actually going to be doing it in tap time as well, Group Iron Man, just so I can get as much of a head start on it as I can and get it out to you as soon as possible. Obviously, it would have been lovely to get it out for the January Premier Club by now. Obviously, it would have been lovely to get it out for that, but Solak has to come first, and then Group Iron Man. I have another planning meeting with Easty next week. We know everything we need to do. I believe the engine jobs are already submitted. They are. Yeah. I don't know why I looked at you. And basically, we want it to be as complete as possible. We want it to have everything you want, like high scores, a proper grouping system for clans. Don't want you to have to log in and use a scroll on, Dave, and invite him that way. We want it to be proper. So,
do you have any more details on design? Because I know a few people were asking, like dungeoneering, group bossing.
Well, they'll be able to do that. They'll be able to dungeoneer together. They'll be able to go into group bosses together. There's not much they will be locked out of, but it's a lot we have to think about because it's a 16-year-old game. Yeah. We need to make sure, okay, does this group work with this? Does this group work with this? Is it going to conflict with this? How are we going to do this?
And we've been chatting about group sizes as well.
Yeah.
So obviously that's the up in the air element.
Let's not say numbers just yet, but
it's a big more than one.
Yeah, it's going to be more than one. It's a big project. It may not seem it, considering we already have Iron Man mode, but it takes a lot of planning. So I appreciate your patience and apologies for not talking about it sooner.
Oh, there we go. Cleared up very nicely. Thank you, Ramen. Any update on the giant mimic perm boss? Okay, I guess this falls to me.
Certainly does.
Yeah, Shawnee.
So, as far as I'm aware, unless you will happily correct me, we're just waiting for QA to have a sniff at it now, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's next year again, but like Sluskate's endgame, not long to wait.
Yes. Okay. What happened to the in-game events calendar prepared during Game Jam? So this was, I believe, Mod Chaplin moderator who did that in February.
It was, was it Chaplin as well?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. All that remained was some testing. And we're getting to that now. So again, it's early next year. So that's looking like it's coming out, which is good, because of course it's great stuff.
What about Bounty Hunter? Are we looking to fix it at all?
Anybody want to take that one?
No, over the way.
Yeah, I mean, we're fixing it. Part of the Combat Council plan for next year is to fix it, which is essentially to mostly strip away the good rewards and put them elsewhere. But yeah, we are looking to fix it. But then that's next year. That's not early next year. That's
something we haven't started yet, but we're just designing.
What's the status on Dailyscape? There is other bits here, but straight to what's the status on Dailyscape, pretty much.
For me, a bit like unfinished business. Actually, we found that the best plan for Dailyscape is to factor it into everything we do. So we put together like a 5-year plan and kind of looking at what we want to do in the future. So every project we're going to keep in mind that we want people to have basically what we're calling like a healthy session, a healthy play, to not feel like railroaded into content we want them to do, but feel like they can set their own objectives and do that themselves. And so that's going to factor into virtually everything, every decision we make. There might be isolated projects. I know that on our backlog, we've got a few of those, things like challenges improvement project, things that can factor into Dailyscape.
Awesome. Am I okay to get you to ask this question while I go over to the computers?
Oh, right. Yeah,
so
sure.
Just that one there.
Have you considered... Oh,
you have to go to the computers.
You're just so interested in what I was about to say. Hello. Have you considered phased implementation of large updates like mining and smithing or the bank rework?
Well, specifically for mining and smithing, we did consider that. You may recall we polled that in game.
I think we may have got in trouble for that a little bit.
And the overwhelming majority said that they wanted the update all in one go.
Yeah.
They didn't want a bit now, a bit later. So yes,
that's what we're aiming for.
We did want to consider that option. We wanted to give you the chance to get to play with the new stuff sooner.
Yeah.
No.
Does that include betas as well?
Does it include betas in that? Are we going to start?
Are they going to play it before launch as a beta?
I think it's going to depend a lot on individual projects.
Okay.
I think for mining and smithing, we are going to be looking to do a beta that we'll talk about in a upcoming live.
Yes, yeah, you've got a live stream coming up very soon. Okay, so I think that Shawnee's moved over to computers, Shawnee, because you got some kind of news for bank rework.
You meant to say something cool, Osborne.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's fine.
I just thought capable.
Alrighty.
Let's roll it back. Let's roll it back.
So, Mod Hunter was going to be here to do this. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here, so I've kind of stepped in to just kind of show off a couple things. So, just to give you a bit of context, mobile at the moment is obviously the priority to get out. But in the meantime, Mod Hunter in his free time has been working on script updates for the bank. Now, what this consists of, and this is going to be a very quick show, just so you can get an idea here of some stuff. So I'll let you see the new bank there, or the changes to the new bank interface, I should say, there and then. But you can pretty much see straight away that we used to have presets button 1 and 2. We now have 1 to 10 right there. I should mention these are key bindable, so you can just immediately withdraw the preset you want. So obviously in the past, you'd have to go into the presets and choose 2 slots and then have them there. The presets window has changed itself. It now loads a lot quicker because it's embedded into the bank instead of a interface itself. So you can kind of just see them there and you can tweak them how you like. And then I'm going to just go on to 3 other things really quickly. So the first one is you can now access Diango's item retrieval via the bank. So you can just pick out anything you need from here. It'll go into your backpack. There's obviously quite a lot here, so we'll take the Goblin Basher, why not, of all things to take. So we'll pop that and it'll pop into our backpack and we can just put it straight in. Also, you have the ability to get to the costume room of your POH stuff. So if you've built your storages, you can get to your cape rack, your magic wardrobe, your chest, your fancy dress box, the armor case, and so on. And you can also access its functions there. So you can see I have a blood cape in my backpack, so I can just deposit it straight in. I don't have to go into my POH to do this. I can now do it straight from the bank, and of course you can withdraw it as well if you wish. And of course you can go back to the bank. And then finally, we have something called the cleanup mode button. Now what this does will display items which have no use or can be stored with Diango. So I'll press this button, and you can see I have a lot of items that I could clear out right now if I wanted to from my bank. Most of these, of course, are skill outfits, but there's also a tooltip which will tell you the Django can store them for you as well. So you can go into what's called cleanup mode, and you can see it there and then, and pretty much clean out anything you want. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's pretty much it. This is what Mod Hunt has been able to do with just script. So feel free to give him a shout on his Twitter at JagXHunter, because he's done a cracking job of this. So yeah, it's pretty much, that's it in a nutshell. But I thought it'd be cool to show, because yeah, it looks pretty awesome. So I think that's about it. So I'm going to throw it back to the couch and go join him.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
About it, yeah.
That's about it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, just end the stream. Cheers, Shawnee, and your plunging neckline. Thank you for that.
Got everyone hot under the collar.
Well, there's a
Too
Twitch
hot
clip
for
for the ages right there.
You can save that one for yourself.
Oh, thanks.
Oh yeah, Bank Rework. Go on.
I mean, you can crack on
Continue.
one.
No,
Right.
please.
Okay, so obviously with that, it was kind of a show of what we could do with the bank if, you know, we had everything there. It's a great
It's a great little
demonstration.
trailer, as well as like detaching some things that's not dependent on that Bank Rework launch and bring it forward.
So where are we in terms of Bank Rework?
It's still in the same place, but we are looking more critically at what we can bring forward, which is why you have what you have here. I think we're just looking more kind of creatively at what we can do, knowing that, you know, there are some things that have to remain for the Bank Rework full launch.
Awesome. Going to move over to, well, literally these questions are all in random order. So we're going to jump from, let's say, bank to quest to combat. Who knows where we'll go? So by all means, keep jumping in. What quest series would you love to finish next after the Pirates?
Oh, individually? I mean, I'm a big fan of doing the gnomes, I must admit. Gnomes have been good for crossovers as well. So there's part of me that thinks that maybe we could chuck in some, you know, how monkeys appeared within the gnome series, things like that. Maybe we could get some monkeying in there. But yeah, I'd love to get Arpassandra.
Anyone else want to jump in on that, or does everyone want the gnome series to finish?
Yeah. I'd like to see where Sir Owen's going. See a Death of Chivalry.
Yeah, that's nice.
Well, the centaurs and
cool.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to start
I know Modsty's got some good plans for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Don't want to finish any. Just want to start new ones now.
Or create more branches.
Fifth age is over.
I mean, I really
Move
want
on.
God Sagas, but there you go. It's not really
Well,
finishing for
are
them.
there any DG related quests? I mean, you've got like the Brackish Blade one.
I mean, sagas are not
Clockwork Syringe.
quests
No,
as
is it
such.
Clockwork
but-
Syringe?
Oh, that'd be a good one. Yeah, DG's a good one. Like Fox stuff. And
Yeah,
that'd be
I'd
good to
probably
finish.
I'd delve into that. Delve into the depths of Demon.
Delve into Demonheim.
I really
Second
want
time
to
talking
finish
about that
off the Once More Favourite quest series.
Of course you do.
See the conclusion.
Of course you do.
1,000 onerous tasks.
How is the Treasure Hunt Rework / members loyalty program rework coming along?
Yeah, I'll take that one. It's worth noting we've kind of gone back a bit in terms of the design. I think that we're going to look at how we, you know, off the back of a couple of months ago, we're going to look at how we do loyalty program, monetization, all of this more broadly. So that takes all of that in. So it may well be pushed back a little bit, I'm afraid. I don't know if we mentioned that we were looking at loyalty points at one point, but yeah, that's gone back to the drawing board.
I hope this doesn't get taken out of context, but I was wondering if there was any follow-up on Mod Osborne's statement regarding what would happen if we removed the Reaper title requirement from Comp Cape, which he mentioned back in the July Q&A, but no poll was ever made. Yeah, they will chase you up on
Long
everything.
memories. Amazing. Go on, do you want to take it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's something we want to do. It's something we really want to do. Well, personally, me and Kevin.
We in personal are very different.
We've definitely discussed it, and obviously it's a big issue because you can't really push bosses because, you know, someone out there may not be capable of, usually I'd rip on a player here, but some player may not be capable of like actually doing that boss. They may be a little slow or they just can't really grasp the mechanics. And that then locks them off from the Comp Cape because it's tied into, the Reaper title is tied into that. So we kind of, if we pull it away, we allow more people to obtain the cape that they're being blocked from just that one thing. And then we can also push our bosses further and further. And we can sort of like get the old school kind of thing with the Inferno where it took them a long time to actually take it down. Build moments, make things harder. I'm trying to like talk properly. But it is definitely something that is coming up in discussion more recently, especially with Solly coming
Again,
up.
there's a drop in the backlog as well. It's not only the, like, we want to go further with our bosses argument as well. There's also the statting on the Comp Cape. Like what we can do with that while still, you know, kind of making Comp Cape something that's desirable. There's a lot of achievements, to be fair, that are on trim that could probably go on comp.
Yeah.
Like, that feel like they're the completion of the game. I'd love to have some distinction between comp, trim, and achievements. You know, so we're bringing in the lovely Timbo to give that bit of distinction.
It's a big discussion, and it's happening.
It is happening a lot.
It is happening a lot. Yeah.
But no date yet. We're just kind of talking it around. I'm happy to get feedback from people as well.
Can we talk about next Elite Skilling outfit? Because obviously, just before the stream went live, we did a little post. Montaylin did a post about the next Elite Skilling outfit. Are you able to talk about that?
Yeah. So in that post, by saying that it's coming out in January, alongside skill head add-ons. Is that right?
Yep.
So that'll be available in game by doing divination. Woohoo! I want to clarify that it's worth clarifying because a lot of people have kind of read what we've said in the past, or what we talked about, and said that we promised 4 months after launch that we would put it in game. It's not. We said that for at least 4 months after launch that we would wait until we put something in game. So it would be 4 months at least. Now that's obviously really messy and mucky, and I've even stumbled just saying it. Like, I think it's important to say we want to get them out, you know, soon as possible after they're launched in Treasure Hunter, but we're not going to ascribe a date. We haven't ascribed a date, we've just given that 4 month kind of amnesty. So next one may come out later on next year, which I can't remember which one is after divination. Woodcutting?
Dungeoneering.
There we go. Yeah,
DG.
Exactly.
Blazing Garage.
So I'm sure we'll have this conversation again some point next year. Yeah.
Will there ever be a return of world events? The Armadyl versus Bandos one was well received.
Yeah, it was. I think it's something that we always talk about doing. Obviously, the world events we've done in the past have been, you know, everyone remembers the Bandos Armadyl one, Bird and the Beast, I think we called it, quite fondly. I did enjoy running around killing people. But then Tuska was a little bit less well received. I think it's just about finding the right time, the right place, and the right theme and mechanics for it.
I think it's more the mechanics. You could stick any old god in there, and it would work. Also,
any old
Tuska wasn't the next world event. You go 6 Age War Event 3, which is Cabbage Face Punch Bonanza. I know because I worked on every bloody one of them. But yeah, no, I think like the good thing about World Event 2 was the actual open world PvP, and the fact that you had factions and you had people like hogging borders and nutting people as they walk in. The whole the AFK construction.
Yeah, there's stuff I'd definitely change about it. Get people moving away from that sort of home base one. But moving around a bit more.
Home base. We kind of created a moment as well, which I really liked. You know, like everybody remembers Bird and the Beast when that happened. I think you can still add some story around it. And we've got some thoughts. It's on our backlog, a kind of World Event 2 style thing.
Chat keep asking you to smile, Ramen.
What's with your mood?
This is just me. This is like I'm in focus.
This is the real
mode.
ramen.
This is the real ramen.
All right.
I'm a miserable sod.
Timbo, I'm going to delegate this question to you. Can we get a rough outline or idea of what will be done in 2018 to advance the 5-year skilling plan?
There'll be at least 1/5 of it done.
Yeah, at least 1/5 of it complete. Thank you. Very good. Well, DC fishing is sort of our talisman for the 5-year skilling plan. It's sort of emblematic of what we want to do. So it's going to have diversification of skillings, new key milestones, exciting stuff to do, distractions and diversions within skills. It's going to be a communal area. It's going to be basically everything I said in the RuneFest talk. Go watch it. It's going to be sort of inside DC fishing. But there's going to be other stuff as well. We want to add in small things that give key milestones to different skills. So fire making is the one we want to do next year. I'm going to talk about it because it's my design. So we want to give a key milestone to fire making. That design is pretty much already done, and kind of Kyle and Ryan want to work on it.
Yeah, hell yeah. I do. His design's really. But
awesome. I think we are. We're slotting in the 5-year skilling plan into different pieces of update and different pieces of content. DC fishing is going to be the big first one, the huge one. Yeah. Where you can clearly see different parts of our plan.
Yeah. We kind of want to point our developers to it and saying these are the kind of things we want to achieve. So it's almost a teaching thing as well. Yeah.
But not every single. We won't have a 5-year skilling plan update. We won't. And it's this update has everything in the skilling plan. It's not going to be that. Let's say we might just do a fire making key milestone one day. We may add a new tree that is a diversification of skilling for woodcutting, for example. But yeah.
Will Fossil Island ever be released for RuneScape 3? As a follow-up, what is your stance on bringing updates from old school into RuneScape?
Don't know how other people feel, but yeah, hell yeah. I mean, I've got no problem with.
Yeah, they've gone off on their own, and this is no bad thing, and it's like don't take it as such. But they've definitely gone off on their own spin. We could definitely do the Fossil Island update, but with our own.
Yeah, I mean,
with our own design.
For each game.
And if there's like we could obviously add cool homages to theirs, just like a little tribute, or maybe you see Zaya off in the distance.
I feel it gets a bit awkward if we launch really close to each other.
Yeah,
I feel like then you start getting into competition, like scoring marks against each other. And I don't like that.
We wouldn't release a carbon copy of old school's Fossil Island either.
But if they turned around and said they wanted to do a Elf City next year, it'd be perfectly fine with that. Just as Fossil Island maybe a couple of years down the road.
I mean, we've already done like skill pets that came to old school first, did very well there. We looked at what they'd done, seen how it had worked well and how it hadn't, and made some changes to make it appropriate for RuneScape 3.
Yeah, and we're working together on things like Group Iron Man. A lot of conversations happen between teams on that. So that would be nice to happen more.
Started talking a lot more, like the development teams, like Kieran and I know Kieran and Ryan sit down a lot. Like, obviously, I work on bosses on RS3, whereas Kieran works on them a lot on old school, and we sit down together, we talk about ideas, we like, oh, how do you do this, do that? It's pretty cool. Like, something to...
I know people want to imagine that we hate each other and
pelt
eggs
the perception.
Not quite.
Not at all. Absolutely not at all. Rune Metrics development isn't happening anymore as far as we're aware. Is charging an extra fee on top of the membership for it still necessary?
So Rune Metrics, we currently don't have any plans. So I had a little chat to Mod Mike earlier today. We've got nothing to announce on Rune Metrics at the moment. Sorry.
Okay. Any updates are kind of falls over to Mining and Smithing again, but any updates on the Mining and Smithing rework, as it seems the main forum page for it has been quiet since the first quarter of this year. Note to Deg, remember to mention more recent thread as well as LS.
Okay, that was more if I gave the answer and then I forgot, you could say, by the way, did you think of this? Rather than just giving the answer in the question. But that's what, do you want me to say the thing you just said?
Yeah, because you can totally say it way better than I can. No.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Everyone's going to be judging. Jeez. Well, I'm not sure the specific thread that question is actually referring to. But we do. We very recently posted a thread in the forums, also posted it on Reddit, that was discussing, hey everyone, here's a list of all the things that Mining and Smithing plug into. This is our update. This is the things that we're thinking about. Next week or soon thereafter, depending on how the schedule works out, we're going to be doing a live stream that has a lot of Mining and Smithing content where we're going to be showing you exactly where we are, here are our thoughts, trying to get some feedback. About a month ago, we did a live stream where we showed where we were then. Yeah. It's changed a bit since then, but it's still fundamentally the same update. So if you want to, in preparation, go back and watch that, you'll have an idea of what we are.
Told you your answer would be better than mine.
But yeah, like absolutely, like we're still working on it. We're still looking at your feedback. In fact, if you go back and see that other live stream, we show things like having stackable ores and bars. We got lots of feedback on that because that was a very experimental change. Even if we were making it like this is going to be controversial, let's see how it feels. Let's see how people think about it. And some people were on board, but the majority were like, this is a bridge too far. And we stepped away from that. We're no longer doing that. So your feedback is absolutely being heard and is making.
But we're still looking at inventory management within Mining and Smithing.
Yes.
Yes, which is worth noting. So people who are like running around screaming that, oh my God, my stackable ores aren't there anymore.
Yes.
We're still looking at it.
Yeah, so it's going to probably be one of the big things that we hit in next week's live stream or shortly thereafter, depending on schedule. Tune in to whenever that is.
In a world.
Any updates planned to loyalty point system, and will the current price of ores be addressed?
Do you want to take this one?
Yeah. Whenever we do the loyalty point reworks, we will be addressing the cost of auras.
As we say, a little bit of a backtrack in the loyalty store kind of design and work that we're doing, but we'll get to it.
But like you were calculating things last week, so it's not like just something we said. It is an ongoing thing. Yeah. It's not like just more for explaining to them. Like when we say, oh, it's not something we're actively thinking about or it's on the back burner, it's still being worked on, like slowly things are being done.
I mean, I was actively working on it last week, but yeah, it's not something that's being developed or considered right now. But the price of auras are too high. the cost of entry-level PVM is too high.
Yeah, that's one of our aims. So you can know that's going to be.
I say cost as in cost of like waiting around for a couple of consecutive months of membership, not actual cost.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or, of course, waiting for Premier Club to get that injection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. We've had a content showcase live stream in October and November. Can you say anything regarding how often you want to or strive to do a content showcase?
I'd really like to do them monthly. December's a bit odd because people are going away for holiday. They forgot to take holiday throughout the rest of the year and seem to always take it in December.
Modiago.
Yeah.
I'm calling him out. He's probably watching the stream.
But there's also, like the best time to do the stream would actually be next week. But that's actually only one sprint review since the last. So actually, that's not as much kind of progress that I'd like for us to be showing. So what we're going to do is, as Deg has mentioned, is maybe kind of like we did with mobile, dedicate a live stream to mining and smithing, and then let the other projects back up a bit and give you something like a real motherload of stuff to show in the next content showcase.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're talking likely in January rather than December.
Okay. Whatever happened to the Karamja god?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. Some people have come to me and talked to me about wanting to do stuff with it. But regardless, there's a bit of prep work before we get there. There's some kind of story steps before there's the grand reveal. So we'll see.
When are you going to remove the visitor count for Citadel to kill small clans that are unable to reach tier 7 and it is completely unfair?
So you, mate, you're mod clan.
Oh boy.
Are you mod clan?
A mod clan.
Nice.
I wouldn't ever want to remove the visitor count. I think it inspires clans to recruit people to hit that. Because once they've hit it, then they only need to keep having 5 visitors each week to retain it. So I think making the visitors count lower kind of devalues it a little bit in my mind. I mean, I think it's 35 for tier 7, so if it inspires you to bring 35 people, recruit 35 people and get to visit your Citadel. So that's my thoughts anyway.
Or just make new accounts. And buy Gold Premier Club on them.
Jeez. Are you getting commission on this or something?
Every time he mentions it.
No. Don't do that.
That's unrelated.
Don't also say don't buy it.
No, don't.
Are there any plans to do a skilling boss still?
Yes.
We
talk about one time.
So many projects you want to work on.
Yeah, there's so many, but a skilling boss will happen one day. Like,
Yeah, I feel it's like a holy grail for a lot of devs and designers. It's like, can you do it properly and do it well? Some people have said no, that you can't do a skilling boss.
Timbo's designed it.
Oh, right.
Were we discussing it? Were me and Ryan discussing it? Were we discussing it?
I think a lot of people have had
We talk about it a lot, yeah, about how we would implement it.
8 different internal designs for it.
Yeah. We want to do it.
So the answer is no, it's not planned for anything. And I don't really consider it unfinished business, actually.
No.
No, I wouldn't
I don't
consider
think we
that at
promised
all.
that, perhaps.
Well, it is now.
True.
Live streams.
Has there been any changes since the content showcase to the Clue Scroll update?
Yes. And it's awesome.
They got a standing ovation at our last sprint review, kind of, pretty much.
I think it's safe to say, though,
I'm hyped.
that when that time comes for a showcase, that'll be the time to show the changes.
Yeah.
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 Awesome. Any more competitive game modes planned for RuneScape?
No immediate plans. Obviously, Dimension of the Damned. Was a challenge. Didn't go down too well. We've learned a lot from doing it though, and in future events, we hope that we'd run them a lot smoother. So yeah, we'll never say no. But yeah, we've got no immediate plans.
Yeah, I think we still want to. There was a lot that was ambitious.
Yeah.
That we don't want to lose that ambition. I know that virtually everybody on this sofa would love to do a RuneScape. I know quite a few people who would like to do a Darkscope seasonal.
By everyone, you mean you?
No, everyone on the two over there.
RuneScape,
Yeah. I reckon Shawnee might be up for a bit of RuneScape too. But
You're still trying to push that, huh?
I remember what that was.
RuneScape is great. Yeah.
Or whatever, Unscape. So many titles.
I believe it was.
Yes. So we want to keep that ambition, but I don't think we go in that particular direction.
When we look at it from a retrospective, what do we think went wrong with it? If we're being like...
we've done countless. We've done 3 or 4 retros on Dimension
Yep.
of the Damned. Like some of the biggies we didn't test it out. Not properly. Like a lot of it was theory. It was a lot of it. Too much of it was on the page. We needed to be getting that in front of players, getting it in front of our staff, playing it, prototyping it, and we didn't do that enough. So that was a big part. Behind the scenes, we saw it as a bit of a test. But there's a difference between behind the scenes being a bit of a test and then shouting about it on RuneFest and making videos about it.
Yeah.
So we didn't set expectations right.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we were developing. There was still changes happening too late, and we can learn from that.
Cool. Will the well of goodwill ever return?
I think it's more important. The important thing is like we've made like the community plus Jagex together. We have made $300,000 this year for charity, and that is fantastic. That's what we're kind of more focused on. Like all of the stuff that we're doing. There's going to be some big announcements in the year ahead on the 1st of Jan about what we're doing in terms of charity work for next year. We've got some big plans.
I presume something you're writing up.
Yeah.
Yep.
We may have news tomorrow about something.
Oh, news tomorrow. Yeah, and I think everybody should be proud. That number is ridiculously high. I mean, I know the Well of Goodwill is like outside Grand Exchange. You can't help but spot it. The kind of thing to focus on is just like there's some good charity work.
Sorry, I just saw that someone thinks you're doing a good impression of Sinead O'Connor. Which tickled me.
There's no avoiding it. I mean, I'm looking more like Shrek, I think.
It's good to know we three, us three, are too young for who is this? Is it someone from the Matrix?
Do you not know Sinead O'Connor? Oh,
That's kind of depressing.
Nothing compares to her.
I need to know.
Yeah, but I was thinking more kind of. It's over everything.
Yeah.
I was thinking more Kingpin.
I got it.
I'm going for Kingpin.
Wilson
I think, with
Fisk.
Wilson
Kingpin.
Fisk.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Daredevil. Season
Yeah.
1.
There we go. That's more of.
Spoiler.
Have you not seen Daredevil?
No.
Christ.
Oh, we got to keep on going. Who else? Like Shrek? You know Shrek? Is that too early? Oh God, you're too early for Shrek.
No, I don't. My God, this is what happens when we get everyone on the couch all together. We just get into these tangents.
More like an onion.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, what are the chances the mobile RuneScape will turn out to be much more work than Jagex thought it would be and end up meaning other updates get postponed?
Not that high, actually. We've scoped it out really well. The mobile team have been making good and regular progress. We've been hitting all our dates so far. The betas have gone down really well. So I'm pretty confident in it myself.
It's also worth noting that we've made them distinct from RuneScape now. They're the mobile team, so that work won't affect RuneScape.
Yeah.
All right, Robin, one for you. How do you feel about the response from Evil Dave Quest?
Enjoyable.
Enjoyable response.
The feedback was enjoyable.
It was an enjoyable response.
How do you like to enjoy the response? I imagine you with like a brandy, just kind of scrolling through Reddit.
I had a bottle of wine.
Bottle of wine, nice.
Bottle of wine and jambalaya.
No, Jambalay's Wednesday night, mate.
Jambalaya Wednesday.
No, I was happy with how it went down, and like, but it was a massive team effort. Like Timbo's initial tap design, and then Mod Chaplin took it, and then it came to me, and then we sat down, we played through it, and we're like, some things need to change, and then Mod Ryan came in to help with a bit of code. Mod Jack came in with some incredible dialogue, and Osborne with some incredible dialogue. So big team effort. Everyone should be really proud.
I think the only negatives were obviously because it'd been so long since the last quest, and we always knew that Evil Dave was a bit kind of disposable. It's kind of comedic, disposable piece of content, and that's not how you want to answer a quest gap. So I do appreciate that, and we completely agree with that. We just need to get some quests on the schedule, which of course we do.
But then again, a lot of the response was this is kind of what we needed. We needed something that was back to RuneScape roots. Like, it was a laugh and it was a quest. You put them two together, you got something.
Certainly was a quest.
A laugh quest. But no, like a lot. We made a couple lore fails which I need to fix. Sea slugs in the 6th age. I have no idea, but
that's fine.
Yeah, it'll be
is
okay.
that not
And really,
no.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
It's in my to-do list.
Sure.
But no, really happy with how it went down, and people seem to enjoy it. I enjoyed some of it. I hate Doris. Like, with a burning passion. The amount of times I've had to talk to her.
Doris and Leapscape, who knew?
She got to me.
Do we see the seasonal monthly high scores making a return?
Yeah, me and Ryan were talking about them.
Yeah.
Yep.
What plans you got?
Spoilers, mate. New bosses, obviously, because you can't really go wrong with them, and then we'll find some other cool timed things. Pleased with how the first ones went. So
yeah, I mean, on that person, like I've always wanted the clue scrolls.
Mate, if there was a clue scroll high score, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Launch it with the clue scroll update is an idea.
That'd
be interesting. Why do you think Menopause had a mixed response? We'll answer that first, then there's another follow-up question from that. Why do we think it had a mixed response, first of all?
That's a complicated question.
Yeah, that's a long one. I think we did as much retro on Menopause as we did Dimension of the Damned. Like, there's a lot of things that we wouldn't do again. Like, the space itself was huge. I don't think we'd do that something so sprawling without the content to fill it. I think that we aimed too broadly. I think that's one of my biggest ones. Like, we're trying to cover a lot of skill groups within one city. Like, Elf City was very refined, very defined in what we're going for skill boundaries. And progression through Menopause just didn't feel satisfying. We've talked about this quite a bit. I don't know if you want to, like, chime in about rep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, our ideal version of that progression now would be that you unlocked better ways of progressing as you went through.
Yeah. Treat reputation more like a skill.
Yeah.
It's not actually a skill, but treat it as if we were building a new skill.
Yeah.
Have those like new methods, new unlocks.
Yeah.
Make it more exciting, because reputation was just. I think most of us have done it on this.
Well,
scale.
your goals for the 5-year skilling plan are the exact sort of, like, has the same sort of principles that you would want to apply.
And it might be that we could do some of it retroactively. I know that some people are talking in-house about, like, how we could do that. But let's not put that on unfinished business, please. Please.
It's coming up in the chat a fair bit. Obviously, Bank Rework will placeholders still be a part of its final design?
Hells yeah. Yeah, absolutely core to it. But that is one of the things that's dependent on, you know, the engine work, so comes later.
Is the quest book still a thing?
It's still a thing that we would like to do in the future. We've got no plans to do it right now, but I think... Sad day.
I know. There's only so many things you can produce at once. We're doing so much.
It's definitely something that we want to do.
What?
Just because it makes coming into the game, understanding the narrative a lot easier, and just packaging it for new and returning players.
You occasionally.
Shawnee's freaking out.
Yeah.
Are you hearing voices again?
No, I'm fine.
They're telling you about your neckline. Pull up the t-shirt
now.
Will we see player-owned fans? Will we see player-owned fans in 2018?
Let's go for probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
This is a really good design out there, and a really good reason for us to put it in the game.
Yeah, it did all right on the surveys, but didn't do so well that everybody's clamouring for it.
This is a good question. Now that the transition phase to and from expansions has ended and the teams have stabilised, what is the largest obstacle RuneScape development is currently facing?
Do you want to go for it as devs?
Having to work with Dave.
Yeah, everyone.
I'm kidding. What are our large
What's your largest obstacle in RuneScape development right now?
It's a difficult one to answer. Probably, I want to be able to. I want to do so much, but things like if I wanted to, let's take Raids 2 for example. If we wanted to do Raids 2 and we wanted to do it like everything we've ever wanted, like it would take so long. Like it's difficult to understand how much actually goes into a project, how much time, and just you've got to put everything into it. I think time. I would love to be able to just be like.
You want a time machine?
Yeah, just give me a year.
Give him the time turner.
Yeah.
Just clone it.
Oh yeah, give me a time turner. Yeah, it's down to time in my opinion. I want to be able to do these grand, massive, epic things alone, and that would take me a long, long time. So time.
Go on. What's your biggest blocker?
I mean, I'm kind of with Ramen. Like, there are a lot of things that I'm really excited to do, and the problem is I can only do one at a given time.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm doing is mine smithing, so I'm going to be doing that for a long time.
We can do a bit of palette cleansing if you want. You can take smaller stuff, I promise.
Let's get done.
So you have to do mining and then some smithing and then.
Those two are two different
Take a
things.
nice break
Yeah.
to the other skill that is very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think there are some clear bottlenecks that are a problem, but like it's so hard to resolve them because they're a problem throughout the industry. Like, obviously, Bank Rework and mobile have caused problems within engine. We'd be doing so many other things if we could have more engine work and more platformers and that sort of thing. Platformers. Yeah, so those are things you dodge around and you work around. You know, we can relaunch Bank Rework stuff early and things like that. So we're playing.
I'll ask this question, then we got a couple of chat questions. How is Solak going, Mod Ramen?
Solly?
Solly, yes.
Yeah, really, really well. Very happy with how it's turning out. I put a tweet out earlier. So next AOD fight, the entire fight is about 3,000 lines of code, and Solak Phase 1 is 2,000. So it's going to be big. There's a lot to do with it. I realised I'm making a group boss and then having to adapt it into duo mode. So it's got its challenges, but it's coming along really, really well, and got some exciting new things to show on the next content showcase.
Nice.
Yeah, and get some cool concept art in for other stuff, which is top notch.
We have no ETAs, unfortunately, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
No
yeah,
ETAs.
and trust me, if Ramen can give you an ETA, he'd give you one right now. I can promise you that. He's hyped for it.
Yeah.
So
as you can see by my smiling face.
If it's any help, year ahead kind of groups, stuff that's coming out into January, February, March, April, and rest of the year.
Everything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while those are relatively big groups, it will give you a better idea of when to expect stuff.
Pantheon Aura as Menethos endgame content ?
Maybe not as it currently exists.
In its current function.
It's reduced form.
Maybe
yeah.
in a reduced form. Certainly not with the sign of life benefit. We're never doing that again. It's ridiculous.
Fair enough.
But who knows? I don't know. I like a lot of people wanting to bring back the Pantheon Aura. I don't know how we feel about it. Certainly, we'll never. Well, certainly we don't want to bring back the sign of life effect.
It's a really nice creative solution to the problem.
But
like,
yeah,
I know people
that.
want some of the mechanics from Pantheon, but I get the feeling they probably want the sign of life mechanics from Pantheon. That's not necessarily what they're going to get.
Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to say, look, we're not looking to
yeah.
bring back the sign of life benefit.
But regardless, as unlocks for Menethos, I still think that we need progression unlocks with rep, but that's nice.
How much double XP can we expect to see in 2018, and when will the first one be? Although I don't think we can say when the first one is, because that would be
we're saying like an announcement.
But they're
they're
relatively
normally
predictable.
really, yeah.
the normal time.
So
Yeah.
they've been, aside from the one with Menethos this year,
Yeah.
they've been pretty scheduled and regular.
okay, so are we expecting to keep to the same time frames?
Yeah, February-ish, September-ish.
Yeah, we've got no idea how many we're going to do, because obviously last year we had the Menethos one.
Yeah.
Which made
This
things
year.
complicated. Sorry, this year. We're still in the year.
Yeah.
Which complicated it a little bit, but we don't know.
Okay. Any chance to expand boss practice mode?
No.
No?
No.
Are you able to elaborate, if that's okay?
Like, the things people are asking for would take as much time as it would to make a new boss. Pretty sure they would rather a new boss than...
The phase
yeah,
things
having to
and-
select phases, like, it's really not as simple as you think of being able, drag phase 4. It's like, no, you've got to set everything up. You've got to make sure instance. You've got to sort of fake things that players may have done previously. I'm sure you would rather a new boss than us to rework any bit of practice mode.
Fair enough. Will the Vampire Amulet return?
What's the Vampire Amulet?
Which one's that? There's a lot of Vampire Amulets. The Salve Amulet?
We talking about the Draken
Draken's
Medallion?
Medallion?
It just says Vampire Amulet.
Is it the Treasure Hunter one? The one that gives you...
Maybe that one.
Barrows,
The
rerolls
charges.
and stuff?
Yeah, potentially. Maybe.
Probably not.
Okay. Oh goodness, this is a big question. With 4 big quest releases out of 7 quests in total, which includes Menethos and Halloween.
It's very generous, actually. Saying we had 7.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The amount of quests this year was relatively small. There's the Bryn down right there.
Oh, no, I was expecting it. Don't worry. I was waiting.
With the Pirate Finale pieces of hate coming early next year, 2018 starts off strong as a year for quests. Are you approaching 2018 differently to 2017 when it comes to quests?
Yes. Yeah, well, to be fair, like, we started this year knowing that expansions would probably be a vehicle for questing. And that was so very much it's different from that. But we still need to do some work to make quests something somewhat more regular. I think one of the problems is expectation of quest length and quest lavishness, I guess, is high not only from players, but from in-house and staff. In fact, it's probably more problematic with staff, is that, we release things like the Menethos quests, and there was a backlash against them, but they weren't. They were probably about bottle quest size. That's kind of what we'd need to get to if we're going to do them more regularly. So there's a little bit of fear in house that we need to get over. I think we need to attack expectation, but we're also like got to get more devs into story. I think we can. We've put a few bottle quests on the backlog that we're looking to do. We've got some story news that's going to be in the year ahead. Some questing they may not be aware of, or you might not be aware of. So there are a few things we're doing just to try to make questing more a thing. Those people, I know there's some people out there who are expecting the 12 a year of like 3 or 4 years ago. It's not going to return to those levels. It's not going to. But we could possibly, we could get to a place very much that is better or more improved than this year.
So I know we talk about it a lot, but can we reiterate and kind of hammer home the point as to why we can't ever reach those numbers of quests when it comes to development and so on and so forth?
For one, I feel like the expectations of a quest are much higher than they were. I think you could roll out an Olaf quest about 5 years ago, but nowadays it would be chewed up and spat out and would be expected to be a quest. We've already seen that with like Halloween to a good degree. I know it had a shopping list format, but there are also a number of systems. The art element, like it's a lot more expensive to produce any new asset.
Things look better and things are animated better. Obviously, better often does take longer.
We have a much higher tendency in Quest these days to do a lot of bespoke gameplay. Which in a year where we did 12 quests, maybe 2 or 3 of them would have something bespoke.
Yeah.
And a lot of them quests back then, it was like, go use a bucket on the drain outside Varrock and you get a key, done. Like, quests weren't massive. The quests we have nowadays are quite big.
Yeah. So we're going to meet in the middle a little bit more.
Okay.
As a more general point, like the question is about how are we changing how we, come up with plans for quests, but we have changed how we plan, like our entire update schedule, and that's going to have a big impact on the number and types of updates that we do. Now we've moved away from expansions.
Like the big effort is to become more efficient, so we can get have small teams on projects that they could just work through them quicker.
Aura bag. Do we know what we're looking at for Aura bag?
As in when?
Yes.
No.
Nothing yet. Okay.
Not that I know of.
But it is. I think
it's next year.
It looks awesome.
It is.
It's like
so good.
When I saw it in the sprint review, I was like,
so good.
Oh, I just tapped in front of my mic. Apologies. Apologies. Okay. No, it's looking awesome, and I can't wait. Like,
the time is mentioned in the year ahead as well.
Yeah, Mod Edge has done a really cracking job of that. And obviously, when we did the showcase as well, Harrison did the initial work for it as well. So, massive shout out to those two for that one. Can you go into more detail about that update plan you just mentioned and what constitutes a worthy update?
Which update plan?
As in, Deg mentioned about how we kind of look at we have a plan. How is it decided what goes on that plan?
Do you want to go into depth about it?
I mean,
we should mention the.
Yeah, I think a worthy update is, it depends on the size. I mean, it's bigger than a Ninja Fix, definitely. Something that a player can get their teeth into and for a good couple of weeks at least, or a month afterwards, be enjoying that content regularly, and depending on the content, obviously. So yeah, something we can shout about. It's really hard to define. It's not something that we can measure like that, because obviously something like mining and smithing is going to be quite a large update. So
big,
quite large,
a bit big.
Field,
quite big.
So if that question is like in reference to what I just said, sort of most specifically what I was getting at is that you can see, especially from the content showcase streams that we've done, that we've got a lot on the burner at once now. Now we're not doing humongous expansion update. Like everyone's doing,
I'd hazard a guess that actually, it feels like there's probably about double the number of projects ongoing from expansions. That obviously doesn't mean they'll come any quicker. It just, it's a lot of things on the go.
Cool. Do we want? Is there anything you guys? Well, actually, I know it's not officially the last stream from us in 2017, but I mean, because I've got everyone on the couch here, like, what's been like the most enjoyable moment of 2017 for you?
What, in life or
just in general?
Yeah, 10:30. It was pretty good.
Okay, let's go with the game. Let's go with RuneScape.
Or what, can we do life as well?
We can do life as well.
Well, if we're just doing life,
Is it going to be Chester?
it's your neckline.
Well,
No.
Wow.
the response to that.
Jesus Christ,
The response to
Dave.
it.
No.
Backtrack. I'm sorry,
I mean,
all Park fans. I'm sorry.
my favourite, I really enjoyed the RuneScape game jam
Yeah.
in February.
That was superb.
And
That's cool.
as a result, some of the updates that came out, like I know Ramen did the crater and stuff
Oh
like that.
yeah, that was so.
I've
That
put
was,
a request about that, by the way.
I did the luck rework, which I think went down really well.
Yeah.
And people still
Yeah.
like.
Brian did skilling outfits in game.
Yeah, it's getting outfits in game. Like a lot of content came out of that game jam that was released relatively quickly after that. Players got to be involved in part of the design. They got to see me literally type things in Google Docs. They'd ask me a question and I would literally change it and like, yeah, that was wrong. I'm stupid. Or like I'd show them screenshots of stuff and that was really cool.
Nice.
So like I really enjoyed that whole experience.
When you say put in requests, do you mean for Game Jam? Osborne?
Yeah, I can't really talk more, but there are people who are organising something next year, and I want to hop onto it and do something game jammy.
Okay.
I was hoping you were just going to leave it. Something is being organised. Yeah.
Basically, I want to piggyback on top of it and do a game jam.
Oh, well,
What about you,
ask you
Deg?
about this.
What about you, Deg?
I was sort of hoping that you'd skip to the other side of the sofa because that's the logical way to go around.
Outside in.
What would you
Yeah.
mean, mining, smithing? Is this how you're working like that, yeah?
So if we're going to say in-game rather than...
Do an in-game and personal.
well, no, I mean in-game rather than like a game update.
Okay.
Is like, this year I managed to get my first 99, which sounds very silly, and no one cares. But like, I've had a very old account, and I've had like loads of things sat really close to it. Like, oh, I don't. want to
I maxed this year as well.
yeah, I know. You like.
Which skill did you
I'm
get it
not
in?
saying my achievement is me. I know you're way better than me.
I got 120 invention of the weekend.
But,
Oh,
for me,
did you?
I've got,
No, correct.
nice.
Yeah, well done.
I got
I'm
my
so-
first 99, and to
Which
me
skill?
that was meaningful. And since then I got a whole bunch more because it felt achievable now.
You got the invention pet.
You're all jerks. Oh, so I got the invention.
No, you got
Actually, that's the
Malcolm,
number
yeah.
one thing.
That's your number one
That
thing.
makes
You got the
everyone
invention
else
pet.
salty because I got like 70 inventions.
I still remember, I was sitting next to Timbo, because I used to be sat next to Timbo, and then you're doing invention, a
God.
broadcast just comes up in the chat, and then it just says, do you got the invention pet? And then we turn around, and then you just turn around and look at us with the biggest smile on your face. It's just like, it's amazing.
On that pet thing, whenever, because we all AFK things inside the office, whenever someone gets a pet, that person's never at their desk, so you're like, Ryan, pet, or JMO, or
Yeah,
Shawnee. Who else has got pets? Everyone's got pets this year. It's mental.
Petscape.
Pets
Pretty
do,
awesome.
yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, in-game, I guess, for me, it's Warden. It has to be Warden for me. Like, that was the thing I wanted, and I managed to get that done, so I'm happy with that. And I guess, if we're talking personally, the fact that...
Oh, I think we're supposed to be talking professionally.
Oh, right,
I was
okay,
talking like
okay.
in-game versus game.
We can talk
updates.
personally if you want.
Oh,
If you want to go through your biography, sure, by all means. That's what I was trying to get at.
I just...
It's finding that t-shirt,
I just
isn't it?
It's fine on t-shirt.
No, I was just going to use this as a chance to say that personally, no, I just love the fact that, well, not love the fact, but like, you know, I just cherish the fact that, you know, I'm soon to be married to my other half, that's all, personally, so that's pretty cool.
I'm sure she's watching.
I hope so.
We're waiting for our invites.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You've been waiting a long time by the sounds of it, Dave.
Yeah, you sound like you've been waiting for ages.
Surely he wouldn't want us at his wedding.
Bam.
I'll be shouting arc at him all the time. Or taking the mick out of his,
Say
vows.
that word. Say that word.
Married.
I do. Oh.
Oh my goodness. But no, yeah,
So
that's
cruel.
how about you, Osborne? Yeah, but this is how it works, right? This is the dynamic we all have.
Yeah, I know.
So this is the beauty of it. What about you?
I've got nowhere near you guys because I got unlocked invention this year, which
Nice.
was, you know, considering I've been here as long as I have, I should have better than that.
Can I use this? So I'm going to use this as a chance to say, because when you unlocked Invention, you actually then got to experience it properly with some of the annoyances, right? And that helped
It was
a lot as well.
fascinating. I just had that notepad open and was just like all of the initial kind of problems that I had with Invention kind of tied into when you were looking at Invention Batch 2. So obviously, I'm not saying that.
You designed batch.
No, I didn't. I definitely did not. Definitely did not. But it was nice to start, you know, engaging with Invention while you were doing it at the same time and give you some ideas and try to get you to make common components less of rubbish and things like that.
I mean, batch 2 definitely incentivized me to get 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like batch 2 was incredible.
But there's so many things that I'm proud of with the team. I think like Game Jam and all of the tap stuff that came off it was obviously fantastic. But I really like what the Ninja team have become. Like if you look at the first 4 months of this year, like Ninja were just kind of blocked with bigger projects. It was problematic. But we added stuff to them. Some of the people who've come into the team have just been fantastic. And like some of the work you've done, some of the work you've done like to add to Ninja, and patches just quality every time. And people forget. Like when they sit there and go, ooh, haven't had much this week or month this month, which is occasionally, you know, fair. I sometimes just wanted like, go look at the patchwork. You know, there's a reason that we've added more resource to it because it's doing some great stuff. Like
I love that, you know, since we announced the Unfinished Business initiative back in, I think it was August or maybe July, one of the two. I think it was July. But like Ninja, I think when we made those changes, like really stepped up when we needed that, because obviously we were in that phase where we were switching teams, and it was really important to have that.
It's really easy to forget that there's been more resource added to that, and they've done a good job.
Liam?
Definitely. So I think my favourite update of the year was achievements, especially the part 2. I think we were pretty bruised after the first sort of phase 1 of achievements, but rather than sort of hiding, well, we sort of just took all the feedback we were getting, saw what changes we need to make, and then did the business.
Why do you look so depressed?
You are depressed.
I'm smiling.
Oh, well, I thought you were referring to Liam. I was like, wait, what? Okay, around the chat. Okay. No, yeah, I think
So,
I think achievements
cool.
like when we brought a phase 2, I thought that was like the turnaround was really good from April, I think, to August, maybe July, one of the two. When we brought a phase 2, it was really good.
Yeah,
it was all hands on deck in the office at that time. It was good.
Yeah, because the team were hurting after the first one.
Yeah,
they turned it around.
And then in game, it was getting agility pet.
Yeah, doing the Wildy agility course, weren't you?
The agility course on a daily challenge. That was it. Not touch agility since.
Yeah.
Done.
Ryan?
Am I doing both?
Yeah, crack on.
Do all three.
Do whatever you want.
Do in game, do personal, and do work.
All right. Okay. Work. Well, it's the year of me being a content dev, so I've been able to put like things that I've wanted. I get to put in game. Like I choose. So like things like the Clover Pet means something to me. Chester means something to me. Angel of Death like means a lot to me. Like it's something I've wanted to do since I stepped in the building, and actually being able to do that, and then obviously transitioning over to content dev. Work life, probably Japan and things that happened around March, like really good things. And what else was there? Personal life, work. In-game. Oh, I went on a massive staking session, you guys all know.
Oh, yeah.
I went to the Door Arena with 25 mil and I walked away with 70, well, I didn't walk away with 70 bill. I had 70 bill. And then...
You walked away with 70 bill and you walked back in with 70 bill and you walked back out with 10 GP?
Yeah, something like that. No, I had a massive staking sesh, and like it was just some of the most fun I've had. Like I made enemies there. I was like, I'm cleaning you. I cleaned them. But then like did the typical staker thing where I had all this money and I was just like,
you donated some of it.
I funded half the office.
Me and Dad got a scythe each. That was really nice.
No, and then I went back in and it's just like, oh, you only walked away with like 30 bill odd, so. Can't complain. It was good fun. It was good fun.
I should point out, only. What about your hacker Iron Man? Do you want to talk about that really quickly as well?
Oh yeah.
I like what you did, by the way. Very good.
I've been playing my Iron Man a lot because obviously Group Iron Man's coming up, and I kind of want to experience more of the mid-level game because I've been Comp Cape for a long time. I don't have Comp Cape at the moment. I only have Max, and I wanted to experience the middle of the game, and I'm sort of getting to end game on my Iron Man now, starting to have to do Araxi and Telos and all them fancy bosses. And hardcore was holding me back. I didn't want to go because I know if I died inside an instance, I'd lose my stuff, and I'd just be depressed. So then, after a couple of weeks of talking to Ryan and Harrison, I was like, okay, I'm going to kill my Iron Man. I'm going to do it. And then we were on there. I logged in on my account, and I was going to die to an account called Solak. And then I logged out, and then Ryan turned around to me and goes, oh, Kyle, the type of guy to say something and then not do it for 10 years. So I just logged in and was like, done. Killed it to Solak, so it came up with the broadcast, Iron Raman has died to Solak. I was like, pre-release, done, no code needed, and that was it.
Good teaser.
Awesome.
And that's my life story. I had an awesome year.
I enjoyed that section. That was really cool. That's really cool. Am I okay to mention, they keep asking about, by all means.
Yeah, do you want to talk about the clan stuff?
Oh yeah, we can talk about clans.
Don't
yeah,
don't.
I was gonna. Okay, so
we were talking about different things, weren't we?
yeah, we were.
Yeah,
we totally were.
Please talk about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's nothing more to say about clans at the moment apart from the clan avatar rework, which was something Maltair was working on. Maltair was working on before he left us last month. That's kind of progressed a little bit. There's a little bit more to do, but it's getting there. It's very hype, but if all goes well next week, we'll have some upkeep changes for clans as well, which should be nice to kind of tide you over while you wait for the avatar rework. The last bit I was going to ask before we end was people obviously asking what's up with the hair. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, this, I did it for charities. This was Macmillan Cancer Research.
Amazing.
So if you are amused by my face and head, then please do give to
Every
Macmillan.
day, Dave.
Every day.
But yes, be brave shave. So I did it, and I've always wanted to see what my head looked like without the hair. So there we go.
That's
it
amazing.
Looks dumpy.
Up to your
that's
hopes
amazing.
and expectations.
Oh yeah, who knew that it would just look round and bald? Revelation.
No, I think that's amazing. All right, I'm going to use that as an opportunity to get ready to wrap up here. Just a couple of things to mention. Just a couple of things to mention. We're going to be hosting Couchy after stream as part of our streaming advent calendar. So each day after we finish streaming, be it Old School or RuneScape, we're going to be hosting a streamer representative from that game on our channel. So a nice opportunity for our streamers to get involved in that one. And finally, we're going to get ready to give out LootScape to everyone who's been watching. Can we bring up the image of the outfit one more time, if that's okay? So this is the outfit you could get a chance to get when you open your crate. So good luck with that. And the next opportunity to get a loot chest will be with Modely's stream on Sunday at 7 PM game time. So good luck with the outfit. Let us know if you get it. But apart from that, we hope you've enjoyed the stream. It's been a whole load of fun, and it genuinely makes me miss like large couch streams just for the talks that we have. It's really good fun. But apart from that, we'll see you around. Take care and have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.